Hey, what's up guys, June here. In today's video, we're going over the week of April 4th, 2022. This week finished up on plus 3.45 stops. First trade, we have the MES. So the overall context for this trade was to the upside. I was looking at this down leg and I was considering somewhere here or here to be a good area to trade to in terms of the POC or a value area. So I was following this blue swing right on the way down and I was thinking, well, could we expand? At this point it comes up here and it's trying well, it's either trying to go up or trying to go down, at which point it comes up, comes back down, like fair enough. And then this is where I took the trade. Now it made a new little high, so that's something to note. However, this was pretty much a V, so I decided, all right, we can take something off of it. It made something to break, someone fall into, zoom, retest, so this was a wash of this level. Last week I had a trade similar to this on the Russell, where I took the press here, which is not a trade I'm going to be taking forward. I'll wait a few more weeks until I start taking that type of trade. But anyways, it comes back down halfway through, or kind of where it V'd, halfway through the V, and it does one of these. So I decided to take this trade and it worked out. I was targeting the 20-minute POC level or potentially this swap. So I'm willing to take a graceful exit if I have to. At this point, it's very much into the profits. It's 3.45 stops, and I took profits. It did drag itself. It did this for a while, and then overnight it popped to here and then decided to rotate. So nice to see how overall it worked out. However, I wouldn't want to hold that because why would I? It wasn't going fast and it's already potentially at an area where it could turn. So took the graceful exit on this reversal bar, came down, put halfway, got filled just a bit, went down, and then so that was a trade. Management's fine, everything's good. There's some minors in here too, so that was nice. That's why I decided to make the stop a bit more loose. So my stop was here, it got moved up. There you go. Cool. Next trade. Okay, doesn't want to go to the next one. Okay, so next trade, well, of course it's not in order. That's April 5th, 4th. How's this April 6th? Oh, this is something else. Okay, yeah, this was the trade I took. As you see, it came to the POC and then ripped from down here. So that was nice to see. So this was the overall context, measuring the value area, potential areas to go to. This was one of them, and this was another one. I decided to take this one because it's closer, and yeah. And the idea behind here was, look, it was doing this. It went to a consolidation phase. It ripped it up. This was FOMC, ripped it down, and in my head, the flow is now to the upside. However, going back and forth with another trader, he mentions that, there's not much of a flow here, so that's possible. So going forward, not going to really put too much emphasis on this rip him up, rip him down in terms of flow. We could have this as a gap swap, rip him up, rip him down, but in terms of this coming from a consolidation, boom, boom, no. I decided to double up on this idea where I treat this as the swing and expanded it out and took a right side entry. This right side entry is not there. I took it as a 50% pullback, but overall, no good. No good. And I was taking from the potential kill zone. Even if there was a swap, the stop wasn't that good. It didn't have much to it. Not much else to say except, the flow, there was none. So right off the bat, that makes this trade, okay, fine. the next trade. Okay, this would be the final trade of the week. Although I have another trade off after this one, MNQ. Again, this is in alphabetical order. What was the context? Well, this was where I got caught up and it ranged for a while. So I decided to not to play it because, well, it's in the range. Don't want to get chopped up again. Macro wise, we have a range. I'm like, well, can we wash it? With the wash landing into here. Well, that's exactly what we did. We came back down. I was looking for a short here on a right side entry. It didn't give it. So for me, the flow is still kind of to the downside. I'm looking for shorts. And what ended up happening, this is not really any useful, but all that's needed is this context comes back up here. I'm thinking, well, this could be a pressure cooker to launch out of here. It didn't. Decide to swap, not the cleanest of or sharpest of swaps, but this kind of give up was interesting. And because that this entire swing, it's okay, I decided to do a right side entry. So over here, I'm watching, I'm like, okay, can we do a right side entry? Thought about 50% pullback on this guy, but nah. The reason I say nah, I'm looking for an outside bar, so it would have to come up here and then go back down. However, this just kind of boom, not much. And then it started to swing to the upside. I'm like, fair enough. And this gap was very interesting. It goes boom, right? What are the interesting portions of this chart? Well, that's interesting. Okay, it goes up. Can this hold? No. I go on zoom. Okay, I'm interested. Comes up. Boom. There's these guys again, right? These guys, and zoom, boom. So that's why I leaned to the downside. I took it short. Now, why this target instead of, say, I don't know, playing all the way down here? Well, this is my overall frame. It's not something I want to make too many targets or entry decisions on. And the idea of this range being washed and it continuing to the downside, it's a much bigger idea, isn't it? So in between, there's going to be some trades I can take. And one potential target or potential area I want to trade to is a potential kill zone. Why? Well, I can see it bounce off of here. And that's exactly what it did. Ooh, bounce. Do I have a measured move? Maybe there's a measured move too. Not too sure. Okay, cool. So it was pretty much a measured move, which at the time I didn't really take in consideration. See, it's kind of a measured move. Isn't that cool? So that's how that works. But overall, I was looking at the potential kill zone. In terms of management, this one was fine. I said the management was okay. However, if I wanted to maybe take the stop right here, by the time it's close, it's very near the target. The reason I didn't do that is because this is within my 3-to-1. If it's past 3-to-1, then I'd be more aggressive on the stop management. But in this case, nah. I decided to let it go. Boom, filled, bounced. And now it's back down to here, or maybe it went all the way up, but I think it went to here. So overall, that was a great trade, a great read. And I'm perfectly fine with it. All right, this is a missed trade. I was focused on the MES and the Russell. The idea behind this one, pretty straightforward. Well, momentum, we have the flow is to the upside. We have a measured swing. Measure it here, falls into a gap. So it's kind of the two gap structures, but realistically speaking, we have upside. We're just looking to get any reason long. Comes here, boom, pop, retrace, enter, boom, boom. Target up here. A measured move was past it, but there's this barrier, which I believe is a POC of some sorts. And since my target would be here with noise filter, I'd either take profits here or here, depending how it would play out. Halfway. Yeah, I'd probably take profits right here. So that was unfortunate. I missed that trade, but you know, you're gonna miss trades. All right, so this idea was, well, straight to the downside. I'm not looking to rotate back up quite yet because, well, we're not rotating back up. So clearly to the downside, I saw this as a measured leg right here. Look, whoop, comes down, whoop, and a wash of this measured leg or this range. I saw this as a range. Once I went 1, 2, I'm like, okay, there's something here. This gap from here. I'm like, okay, good enough. Zoom, comes back. This is the leg that I achieved, and that was potentially expanding. However, it didn't, so that confirmed the wash idea. And I took it on the orange swing pullback. Went once, no, twice, no, it didn't. Reason I didn't pull in the stop is because I want to see this go a bit further, break this blue leg real nice. However, it didn't. It was just poking. So the trade idea is not over yet. And unfortunately, I got stopped out. Nothing I can do about that. So that'll be it for this week. Not many comments. The only comment I'd probably add is this one. Context of rip up, rip down after a consolidation does not give the context of flow, doesn't give flow to the overall direction. All right, so that's what that is. I was thinking about a wash or taking the short, but nah. You could classify this as a wash, but it wasn't. At that point, I don't think I was looking at the market, but not uber clean. Regardless, that was the trades of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time, adios.